Yo, 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 what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Streets Talk TV, and I'm back at you with another exclusive ass video game. Hey, and for this video right here, we're gonna be speaking of the new news of Lil Cam Fifth Ward. You know, the right hand man, the J Prince Jr., being granted a $300,000 bond when his lawyer went off on the DAs today, pled his side of the case, and told him like it was. Hey, man, y'all ain't got no sufficient evidence, man. Let my mans out on a bond. Hey, we're going to dive into this and speak about exactly what they talked about. But first, man, listen, if y'all new to this channel, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell ASAP. Go ahead and do that right now. That way you go ahead and get all these updates. Every time we drop these videos, you'll be one of the first ones to be notified. Don't forget it, gang. Hey, if you see this video on less than 30 likes, man, make sure y'all hit that like button. Trying to force them into the algorithm. Let it do what it do, man. All right, so Lil Cam, Lil Cam, his name's been hot. If Lil Cam ain't never been known for nothing in his whole life. Ever since Takeoff's death, Lil Cam has been he been in the headlines, the media more than Whack 100. But it's been for all the wrong reasons, allegedly. See, Lil Cam was known to be at the dice game where Takeoff tragically got killed. And so the police has been having their eyes on him. See, Lil Cam had been getting into some trouble already. He was already on papers from some, something stemming in Louisiana, something stemming in California. So he ain't new to this. He's true to this. So when the police seen that, evidently they stopped him while he was driving a car, and they alleged they found a gun up underneath the driver's seat. Well, he's been in jail ever since then. And now, they've been trying to withhold giving him a bond. They're trying to keep him incarcerated, basically just trying to milk him for everything he knows and everything he's got. Well, he's had a lawyer retained. I made a past video on it showing you his lawyer whenever he made the claims about how if they know who killed Takeoff, they might would tell the DA that was for a different time. Basically giving the insinuation if given the chance, Lil Cam might would snitch on any information that he had to free himself from the position he was in. Well, I'm going to play y'all this video, man. The lawyer went off today basically telling them there's no probable cause to keep him in prison or keep him in jail without a bond because what he is being held on, his other charges stemming from like California, it's not clear whether there's a misdemeanor or a felony or not. He had very, very, you can tell he did his homework. He had very distinct, spots on every charge that he was, getting accused of to why, he feels like his client should be granted bail. And that to me is a good lawyer, man. That to me shows me that lawyer knows, he was doing his work. And that also tells me somebody recommended him to Lil Cam. That's expensive. I don't know if y'all know, man, but lawyers get real expensive, especially when you're dealing with a high-profile case like this. You're going to want the best lawyer. Even if Lil Cam didn't kill him, you really don't want him giving out no information if he's inside of your circle. You know what I mean? So you want good lawyers on your team to make sure your guys are getting the best proper lookout as they possibly can. You know what happens when people get court-appointed lawyers and stuff. Money talk, bullshit walk, and the court of law is just the way it is, the way it always has been, and the way it'll continue, always will be, just cause money is so strong in this world, But, man, I'm going to play these clips, man, for y'all, let y'all hear Cam's lawyer tell exactly to the judge why he feels like his client should be granted bail, why the DA, states their case also. Hey, drop a comment. Let us know what y'all think about this video, man. Let y'all know what y'all think about this situation right here, man. Do y'all think Lil Cam gonna slide without having anything on him? Do y'all think he was actually caught with a gun? Do y'all think it was his gun at all? Or is this just some bull crap pin that the feds are trying to put up on him, man? Let us know down in the comments, man. Again, this is your boy, Streets Talk TV, man. Hey, and until the next one, you already know. Keep them talking.
Of a firearm. They've offered up that Cameron Joshua was arrested on a warrant. However, What they demonstrated is strictly circumstantial possession. And by that I mean there's absolutely no affirmative link between Cameron Joshua and the gun found in the vehicle. They failed to articulate any control over the weapon, any actual knowledge of the weapon, any possession of the car, any link to the car. In other words, Cameron Joshua could very conceivably have simply gotten into somebody else's car with a gun underneath the seat. They haven't demonstrated any furtive movement, any attempt to conceal the weapon, any possession of the weapon beforehand. Under the law of affirmative links, Judge, this is tenuous at best. The crime of carrying a weapon requires that the person actually, exercise care, custody, control, and management over the object. While they've demonstrated that he exercised control over the car, they've wholly failed to demonstrate any knowledge on his part that the weapon was there. As such, Judge, we'd argue that the evidence is wholly insufficient to justify holding him at no bond. There is going to be some argument, I anticipate, about this issue involving California. The state has offered into evidence in support of this charge in California what appears to be a recitation of a docket sheet. I had a chance to look at it last night, and I've had a chance to look at the California Penal Code. It is unclear to me whether or not Cameron Joshua has been charged with a felony or a misdemeanor in California. What I see in the docket sheet is that he's been punished with 180 days in the county jail, probated for 2 years. In one section of the docket sheet, it references California Penal Code section 487A, which says that it can apparently be punished as a felony or as a misdemeanor. It is an offense of grand larceny. I've talked to several California lawyers, trying to wrap my mind around it, but the reality is that this document that they're introducing in support of the problem in California does not definitively state that it's a felony. The reason that's significant, Judge, so my understanding is that the warrant he was arrested on was for felon in possession of a firearm. Yet we don't have any supporting documents to demonstrate that it was actually a felony that he was on probation for out of California, which would serve as a predicate offense for this offense. I would submit, Your Honor, that if in fact he was not a felon at the time of the possession of this case, his act of carrying the weapon is not necessarily a violation of the law, although it may be a violation of the condition that the court imposed as part of his prior probate or his prior release on bond for the felony offense of possessing a fake ID. Given the circumstances, we would submit that there are more than sufficient conditions that the court can impose that can satisfy the court's concern about public safety, and that the court should consider granting Mr. Joshua a bond and imposing conditions such as home confinement or a curfew or an electronic monitor to justify any concerns this court might have about safety. But given the circumstances the state has offered up, we'd submit it's woefully insufficient to justify holding him and denying him his liberty, interest, and bail.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Your Honor. As I'm sure the court's aware, the burden of proof for purposes of this hearing is the preponderance of the evidence standard. You heard from Officer Del Bracolo that he observed the defendant in that vehicle. He was the sole occupant, the driver of the vehicle. Therefore, he had the keys to that vehicle. And he stated that he observed the defendant with that car previous to that as well. That establishes that he had possession, or that was his car. You heard Officer Del Bracolo tell us that he found that firearm underneath the driver's seat where the defendant was located, and there was no one else in that vehicle. Furthermore, regarding the defendant's California felony conviction, if the court goes through State's Exhibit number 5, which is the docket entry from the defendant's California case, you will see that California codes that grand theft as a felony. There's the letters FEL for felony in those court records. Additionally, this court ordered the defendant under his bond conditions not to possess any firearms for the